Very first up, we have the Chargers at the Texans. The Chargers are a 2.5-point favorite in this, a 42.5 over under on that. And I'm picking the Chargers all day long to win this. The Texans just haven't looked quite as good as the Texans looked last year. Obviously, they got some major injuries on the offensive side of the ball, especially at wide receiver. And then, of course, they got the fact that, let's be honest, they're only in the playoffs really because their division sucks. It's the truth. You know it.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, which is fair enough to say.
Titans and the Jaguars, great teams.
Interesting.
Even the Colts. The Colts couldn't beat us.
Yeah.
So they kind of got there by default. So, again, Chargers I'd have to win. I think Chargers obviously cover the 2.5 points. That's not even a field goal. And I'm going to go under on this. I think it's going to be one of those defensive matchups kind of situations there. And I think, like I said, I think it's going to be the Chargers will be in control the whole time. But the Texans will always have a chance to come back from the game just because the points will be low. But the Chargers will outmatch them entirely. I don't think it's even a concern.
Yeah, I mean, even if Houston takes the lead in this game, like from the get-go, I don't think it's something that Harbaugh is going to worry about. I agree with you. We have the same trifecta working here. I'm taking the Chargers. I jumped on Harbaugh's bandwagon as soon as he went over to the Chargers, saying that he'll make this a playoff team.
Yep,
from the get-go. I remember saying, Drew, that this guy, their head coach, is one of the better coaches in modern day football, and you sat there and made fun of me saying I was saying he's the best.
He needs a ring. He needs a ring still. I'm sorry, I can't put him in that category without
He's
a ring.
He's still a better modern day football coach
than a lot of them. Yes, he's above average. Until he wins a ring, I can't give him like that much kudos. Say he's one of the best of this generation.
I didn't say best. I said better.
I said one of the best.
There you go again.
I'm just saying, when you say he's one of the better, you're insinuating he's like one of the best.
No, that would be best. There's that's part of the English language. Are
you doing a good, best?
Better, best.
Don't give me your sales pitch, goddammit. Next game.
Anyway, up next, you got the Steelers going into Baltimore for the 8:00 game Saturday night, or 8:30. And the Ravens are favored by 9.5 points in this game, which woo-wee. And the over-under is 43.5 points. Which
that's a big spread, though.
It's a bigger spread with a low points. They're saying it's a blowout. Someone's getting blown out here.
Whoa. Hey. Things are spreading open. We got blowouts. What's going on here? What kind of game is this? Quote the Raven.
They won some more. You got Lamar Jackson being like trying to get that MVP candidate that he's been trying to do for the past 3 years at this point.
Well, he's won twice already. I mean, this would be the trifecta.
Just saying.
Got more MVPs than playoff wins.
Yeah, legit. Yeah. So let's face it. The Steelers, I think 9 out of the 7 meetings they've had, the Steelers won. But the Steelers also, I think, lost 4 of the last 5 games, and they got blown out by the Ravens. Granted, they're 1-1 this year. I feel like the Steelers are on their way out. Pickens has like just been picking his nose, not knowing what's going on here. So I'm taking the Ravens to win this game. I'm taking the Steelers to cover this game because I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It is a playoff game, and they're going to play it tough and close. And I am going to pick the over because 44 points is Tommy. 20-24 is a little too low for these two teams, the way they've been playing. It's more of offensive.
Yeah. I'm with you. And we got the same exact picks in this whole thing here, but I got to look at the fact that the Ravens have struggled in the postseason lately. And
100%.
Yeah, and that's why I'm with you on Steelers covering, because I think that's a legitimate thing. The Steelers cover, and then from there you're again Ravens Steelers over. It just makes all the sense in the world. You know, it's a divisional matchup with a team that hasn't done very well, even though they're heavily favored in the postseason. This should be a slam dunk pick all day long for Ravens Steelers over.
Yeah. And this is also our last time agreeing 100%.
That's good.
So
we can't agree like this. Let's go to the Sunday. We got the Broncos at the Bills here, and the Bills are 8.5-point favorites in this game here. 47 is the over/under, so they're expecting a decent high-scoring game here. And you and I aren't that much different necessarily. Actually, we are, but the Bills are going to win this. Let's be honest. This is a game that if the Bills win this, no one's surprised. But if the Broncos win, everybody's like, whoa, upset of the weekend, basically. Like, that's the way it'll be. But I think this is that year that you just get happy if you're the Broncos to go ahead and just get in the postseason, make some progress. You got a quarterback that's developing now in in Bo Nix, and then you go ahead and build on that next year. Kind of like we hope to do back in 22. It's that kind of season.
I was literally going to bring that up.
And then from there, the sky's the limit depending on what happens with Bo Nix's progression at that point there. But this won't be, like I said, this won't be the game for them. But I could see where it's not going to be a complete blowout. I think the Bills will probably win by about 10 points here. So I got Bills to win, Bills to cover, and I do have the over on the over-under there as well.
Yeah, Bills are definitely going to win this game. They should. Everything on paper, they should. Broncos are also a top 5 defense this year, playing some damn good defense. And what they do best is get after the quarterback. I think this is actually a record. I heard the stat earlier. I don't recall where, but the Broncos are one of those teams that pressure the quarterback the most. And I want to say that their defense actually has 60 sacks on the year. And you also have to look at Josh Allen, who's one of the least sacked quarterbacks this year. So when you talk about a great defense versus a great offense, you're also looking at Josh Allen being able to get out of the pocket and not get sacked. And that's what this defense does the best for the Broncos. So they're going to be under pressure. There's going to be a lot of running around. Right? Like I said, the Bills should win. But I do think the Broncos will cover this. I think it will be a close game. They will lose probably by 7. So that 8.5 is a little too rich for my blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take the under because I think it's going to be a little more slow paced. If you're playing in Buffalo and knowing the weather that we're supposed to be getting over here, you might get a snowmageddon coming up here.
Ooh, they're paying people $10 an hour to shovel snow.
Yeah, listen. They were talking like 10 inches of snow in New Jersey on Monday, and now it's an inch apparently Saturday. So who knows what's going on? It is Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
I think if you sneeze, you get a foot of snow.
Yeah, I mean, especially this time of the year, it's the prime time season for the league affects snow. That's for sure. So that'll actually probably really help the Broncos. I feel like because you're going to slow down the game and you kind of take away some of what makes Josh Allen special to a certain degree at that point. He has to be a pure pocket passer to a certain degree. He's going to be less mobile. Yeah. But I still think the Bills, no matter what.
No, 100%. Bills win. I just don't think they cover.
We'll
all right. Up next, 4:30. You got the battle of the greens, the gang greens, if you will. You got the Packers going into Philadelphia playing the Eagles. The Eagles are favored by 4.5 points in this game. And you got an over-under at 45.5 points. The one thing you have to think about this game is who's going to be quarterback for both these teams. You got Jalen Hurts, which I'm not sure if
he was a full participant in practice today.
He did clear.
I haven't heard it clear, but he was a full participant, which is usually a sign that he has.
Yeah, perfect. And then you also got Love over there in the middle, if you will. He banged up his elbow, his thrown elbow. He lost feeling his right hand apparently on Sunday. He got it back Monday, and he was back to practice today. But I am going to take the Eagles in this game as much as I want to be a Packers fan for multiple reasons.
Yeah. Say someone's in trouble.
Yeah, definitely in trouble. I'll be sleeping on the couch tonight. I'm taking the Eagles to win this game. I'm actually going to take them to cover because I'm not sure how Love is going to play in this game with a banged up elbow when they pulled him out. And if you have to put Malik Willis in the playoff game against the Eagles, who have been on fire on offense and defense with Barkley in there, I don't think they have enough juice to cover the Eagles. And I'm taking it in the under. I think
It
Barkley's
is
going
sound
to.
pretty good. You're taking it in the under, huh?
Oh, hey now.
Oh, hello.
And I think it's going to be a more slow-paced game. I do think the Packers defense has played well against the pass.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're playing against Barkley. And when you played them last time, week 1 in Brazil, guess who won?
Brazil.
The Eagles.
But they barely won. That was a very close game. And I think the big thing for me is going to be, as you mentioned already, the health of the quarterbacks. I would definitely not put a dime on this game until I know for sure what's going on.
Nope.
I'm betting in this based on the assumption that both starting quarterbacks will be there. And if both are and they're healthy, I would actually pick the Packers. The Packers, I feel like they're they're due. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had the stretch we talked about with the Broncos. I feel like last year they won one game. I feel like this is the year that they're gonna make a little bit of a surprise run. I think. Keep in mind that their record may not show how good they are because of what division they play in.
I was about to say their record. If they're playing in the South, they would have won that division. If they could have.
But 11-6 when you had 4 games against the 2 top teams in the NFC, the Lions and the Vikings.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like if you played in the West, you won that division.
Yeah. And they had the second best offense and the second best defense in that division, by the way. So, and they played just as well on the road as they do at home. They're 6-3 at home, 5-3 in the road. So, I mean, half a game difference, nothing major there. So,
yeah,
this tells me this is going to be the game. And it may be just the fact that I hate the Eagles. It may just be.
It could be.
But
I hope I'm wrong in this one, even though I need to get my points back right to win for the year.
I hope so too. So I hope you're wrong as well. But next up, we got the Commanders at the Buccaneers, the local game to me here, which I actually talked about going maybe on Sunday too. But I don't think I'm gonna. I think I turned like $100 a seat right now. They're not bad.
Actually, if you go to Stand-In in Philadelphia right now, it's 125. I was looking at the tickets.
Well, no, I'm saying this is for Tampa with an actual seat and everything.
Yeah,
no.
It's
like $89 plus the fees, so you figure it's maybe about $100. So the Bucks are a 3-point favorite in this game. The over under is 50.5, and so I'm just telling you, this is going to be the back and forth game with no defense whatsoever. This is the vibe I got in this. So I got the Buccaneers to win this though still, and I think they're going to beat the spread even because 3 points is not that big a spread. And I definitely got the over on the points of this thing. So I got Bucks over. And this is because it's Jaden Daniels' first game. First game is in the playoffs. Usually you don't win your first playoff game.
Typically, you're not wrong, but
you also usually don't go to the playoffs and win Rookie of the Year and blah blah blah. Like these not
or get the most wins that your franchise has had in 30 years. You're right. That normally doesn't happen. Yeah. But guess what? This guy is what everyone's talking about CJ Stroud last year. And you're playing against the Buccaneers who just got in there. Like, yes, you're down there. Like they've played some good football. There's sometimes their defense is up there hot. Sometimes the offense is Baker's been playing lights out, but Jordan Allen's like he's really come to. And the first time these guys met this year, he wasn't who he is now playing. Jordan Allen's a different quarterback. Yeah. So I think it's a rematch, a little bit of revenge. And I mean, I think Jordan Allen's going out there proving a point. I don't think they advance past this round, but I do think DC wins this game. They're going to cover that, obviously, because they're going to win. And I'm taking the over because I agree with you. Something in this spells no defense, all offense, back and forth. Let's have some fun football.
Yep. Yeah, this is going to be a fun game to watch. That's why I was thinking about going, but like I said, $100 a ticket for a game that I'm not a fan of either team.
Yeah.
Probably not going to do it. Let's get to the last
All right.
game.
Last game, Monday Night Football.
Monday
night. It's fantastic. Wild card weekend wraps up Monday night with the Vikings going into possibly LA. Depends what's going on with those fires out there.
It's already been moved.
It has been moved. Okay,
moved to Arizona.
It's in Arizona.
Arizona. Right. Yeah. So no word yet if they're serving iced teas or not.
Oh.
They should.
Definitely should. Free iced teas for everyone.
So interesting because I mean it's going to be a home game for the Rams, but it's an away game
for both teams.
And I think we all know what team is better.
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
Well, the Rams are giving up 1.5 points, which I'm sure that line has changed. So if you got in with 1.5 points, definitely changes everything. Them playing in Arizona probably changes this whole betting. Because this is before. And the over-under in this game is 48 points, which is the second highest of the week.
Yeah.
Just behind the last game we just talked about.
It's crazy with the Vikings defense. I'm sorry. That's a little insane. People just forgot their defense is good all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, like they're hit or miss, and everyone,
to be honest with you,
honestly, everyone forgets about how good the Rams are, and Matt Stafford, who's actually a legit quarterback veteran in this league, and everyone forgets because everyone thinks Darno's this is how he's played, but how many years have you seen him play terrible football? And because he's playing good football now, everyone thinks he's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback.
Yep, and everybody
think that last year.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Not at all. But hey, Drew, this past month, how did the Rams play?
I'd have to look up the exact in the past games, but
so everyone talks about the Rams being terrible. Yes, they start off 1-4.
First of all, I'm not saying terrible, just for the record.
I'm just saying they start off 1-4. They're a hotter team right now than the Vikings.
They won the last 5 games.
Yep. I'm taking the Rams to win this game. They're on a point. You guys, Sean Vay, coaching everyone up. They started off banged up this year. People forget, yes, they lost New. They lost the best defensive player.
They won 5 of the last 6. I forgot they lost to the Seahawks last week.
Yep. So,
but you got to look at some of those wins, though, too. I mean, they beat the 49ers, whose entire team is on the IR. They beat the Saints, who lost to the Raiders. They beat the Jets, who beat themselves. And they beat the Cardinals, who I understand they're better this year than they've been, but they're still not an elite team. Like, it wasn't like they beat a whole bunch of good teams. The one good, solid win is the Bills. They beat them on the 8th of December by 2 points. But the rest of those wins, the Saints, the Niners, the Jets, the Cardinals.
So you're saying that they beat
teams they should have. And I'm not saying that negatively. That winning teams do that. So I don't mean that as a negative thing.
Yeah. Well, you're saying the Bills too, and the Bills are probably going to the AFC Championship.
We'll see.
Bills are probably going to the AFC Championship. So I'm taking the Rams in this game and the upset because everyone's expecting the Vikings because they've played good football all year. I think the Cinderella story is coming to the end. I think that Sam Darnold is going to lose his slipper. I think Matt Stafford, who has been playing good football most of his career, is going to go out because you know what else is important about this game for him is the end of his contract year. So he's looking for a payday. He goes out there and throws up a whole bunch of goose eggs. Guess what? He doesn't get it.
Who's in his last year?
Matt Stafford.
I thought he was. No, I didn't think he was a free agent. Is he? I thought they're going to trade him. No, he's definitely not a free agent. He's got 2 more years to go. I thought so. Remember talking about trading him this offseason. So he's got 2 more years to go. In fact, they'd have to trade him just to get out of the contract and basically.
So CBS Sports lied to me. Those sons of bitches.
No, he's got 2 more years left, and if they trade him, they save $4 million against the cap, and that's it. They're eating $45 million to trade him. Assuming they don't do like a post June 1st kind of designation, but that's the idea.
Well, anyway, it didn't change my decision. I think the Rams are going to go in there upset. Obviously, they're going to cover because they're not
gonna
favorites. They're going to ram, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because I do think the defense is going to step up, and I think because the defense are stepping up and everything to be said, I think that's when Sam Darnold comes to play.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think the Vikings are going to go far in the playoffs, but I think they win this one. Like I said, I get what you're saying about the Rams coming in hot, but I think it's not as hot as people think. It's more they're coming in lukewarm and happen to play the weaker side of their schedule at that time. So I got the Vikings to win, the Vikings to, not to worry about that 1.5 point difference there. But I'm with you on the under. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. And I think that just proves more to the point with the Vikings because a high scoring game would actually be better suited for the Rams, I think, because the Rams offense is better than their defense, whereas the Vikings are more rounded, but their defense is definitely the stronger of the two.
Depending on the week, yeah.
So, all right, well, we'll find out who's right and who's wrong.
I was talking about this game Monday night when we're watching this live.
Oh yeah. So,
if you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.